Our bronze winner today in the houseplant section had to be one of the most expensive houseplants to get during lockdown. Last year, I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the National Plant Show, which is put on by the Horticultural Trade Association, and it's for horticultural trades across the UK to showcase their new products. So that's new plants or plant-related products that will be sold to mainly other trades, so mainly B2B sales with this one. And because I've been working for a commercial grower, I was able to go to the National Plant Show last year. And at the National Plant Show, they have their New Plant Awards, which is very interesting. They're meant to be new plants that have been put on the UK market, and they tend to be quite innovative. Normally, if they do well at Chelsea, they'll do well at the National Plant Show, and it's a good predictor of where the sales might be, especially if you're a breeder and you want to put your plant out there. You can get a commercial grower to try and grow it on for you and hopefully enter it into an award. A lot of other growers then take note of what has won an award and then they try and grow it themselves. So it's a good way of getting your plant out there if you're a breeder, and it's a really good way of predicting what will be in the shops and the markets and seeing where the markets will go and what your competitors think will do well. So although I'm there for outdoor ornamental horticulture, they do have a houseplant area. They do have houseplant trade stands there, the biggest ones being Opperman Plants and Givado. But they also have the Houseplant Awards. So for this video, we're going to take a look back on what did well last year. And then I'll be filming another video later in the week and comparing them to what's done well this year. So let's get right into it. For the houseplants, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing some of these. We have this I do love the leaves. I love the colours. I love the texture of these leaves. They are giving me Lords and Ladies vibes. And then we have the Croton, and now this is a Croton that I would actually get. I know I hate Crotons, but it's pretty cool with the, they're not open yet. So these are some pretty uniform plants, and one of the things that judges are looking for is uniformity between all the plants, and to make sure that they're in their saleable pot size. So these are how they would be sold if they were sold to a plant shop. And Begonia Rex, very popular and long lasting. A houseplant classic. I feel like we've gone through begonias a lot, and these are meant to be the New Plant Award.
What do you think?
That one's a bit basic. Keeping up with the begonias, we also have the Begonia Ferox. It's a bit spiky though. I'm not a great fan of this texture, but I know some people love it. Great for terrariums and stuff. Then we have this one. I don't know its common name. Species indigenous to southern regions of America. It's got really nice matte green leaves, as you can see. It's very, very healthy specimens. Going around, we have another Aglima.
Hi, Megan. Oh, really?
So the difference with the Crassula ovata trumpet and the Crassula ovata horn tree is that these shape of the ends is shaped like a trumpet horn. The end of a trumpet. They've got quite wide at the rims, and then they go up slightly, almost like an ear shape. It's listening in. Then we have Echeveria Sky Pearl. So this is similar to the one that I have at home. These are doing a lot better though, which you would expect from a show plant. We've got our classic orchids. lovely colour, really lovely. So this Clusia rosea variegated is giving me umbrella plant vibes. So you see the variegation isn't quite so stable, but we do have some nice patterns coming through. Not necessarily one that I would put in the home, but. And then we've got the anthuriums. We've got quite a lot of them. Lovely colour. Living orange. I think the cameras doing it justice. Love how glossy the leaves are. But with these events, people do put leaf shine on them. So if you want to get them as glossy as the ones you see here, you can add some leaf shine. Then we have Pink Mini. This is a really cute one, and I haven't seen many of the 15 beings.
Passports, permits and fees, an update on the situation with fees across the UK. Please make your way to Seminar Area in Hall 2, sponsored by Sinclair. A policy update on the fees, passports, permits and fees, update on the situation with fees across the UK.
So if you don't like too much colour in your home, these dark-leaved Anthurium delicata, really nice option. Some really nice foliage, really large leaves, really deep red flowers. This is the Tradescantia Brightness, which does remind me of the Albiflora. It almost reminds me, it's a bit, the leaves are the same shape as Yellow Hill. Obviously they are white variegation instead of yellow, and unlike the Albiflora or Quicksilver, the leaves are not really long, they're more compact. With Tradescantia's growth regulators are used, so that might be why it's getting the compact shape. However, if you keep trimming them back right down to the roots, you do get that really nice compact shape. They will grow back. The Alocasia red. It's a really nice pattern down here. It's almost giving Silver Dragon, the Dragon Scale one, and then Philodendron Lisa. Really massive leaves, dark red, deep red. One of the most expensive houseplants to get during lockdown. It went for sometimes nearly over £100 for a cutting, a single leaf cutting for the Monstera dubia in the UK. They like to grow up things, so either up a trellis, up a pole, or some people do a plank with moss on. That seems to be the best, as they can get more water that way through the moss. This is a really cool way of displaying them. You've got this kind of cardboard cut out, and you can see some of the roots just growing in there. It's a really effective way of transporting them and displaying them without them being too tall and too heavy and too flimsy like some of the moss poles are. Next we have another philodendron. Fun fact, the common name for this plant is actually Fat Boy. This one's kind of like basic green one. We see a lot of these around now. Very, very popular, very common. They're quite resistant. HTA? I don't know how you pronounce it, but we're going with it. So this was so expensive during lockdown, and now it's being produced on a commercial basis here. I reckon you'll see them for 20 quid probably. 20, 30 quid. Yeah, plant shops. Now this one is kind of more of a rival to the philodendron Prince of Orange, philodendron Ruby. It's kind of a cross. We saw one the other day. This is philodendron Sunlight. We've got some orangey, reddy, autumnal coloured leaves. And then back to your obvious plants, you've got the Dracena Carnival. Dracena Carnival. And wow, another really, really expensive one during the 2020 lockdowns. In the UK, these people were importing from South America because you just couldn't get a hold of them anywhere. You could see a corn going for 60 quid, 50 quid during lockdowns, at least. Looking slightly chlorotic, might need some additional feed. I'm not sure, they are kind of like that anyway. Got some nice texture coming through, some nice colouring. Again, now since they're here, the price is probably going to go down. I reckon that'll be between £30 and £40 for that kind of plant in UK retailers. See House with their Orchid Zurich. Some nice, really white, brilliant bright orchid, nicely compact. They are growing in peat free compost as well. Got lots of bark in there. Very sweet. And now we've got the Begonia Lavagna Orange. So this seems to be So during lockdown we saw a lot of Ixalis coming up, and we mainly saw Plum Crazy being really highly sought after one, with small little plugs, barely rooted, going for around £4 a plug. These are similar ones to the garden Oxalis, very similar in colour as well. That was commonly imported during the lockdowns in 2020, the Anthurium vocularum. People were so to me it's not necessarily a new plant, but it's new for commercial growing in the UK. One. Oh, and look, here it is. We've got Crazy Plum. See Oxalis, Crazy Plum, that has been around for a while. I wouldn't say it was a new plant. They are quite hardy. I will say though, the variegation isn't quite so stable, and depending on your light levels it can revert back to green in the winter, and in the summer when it gets too bright it will put off straight white leaves, so you have to keep cutting them back. They do get quite leggy, so cutting back is a must. And you've got the Echeveria hybrid twister. This is a cool one, but it reminds me way too much of a cabbage for my liking. So it's not necessarily one that I would go for if I was to buy a houseplant today. I think if I was to buy one today, I would go for the Croton Dreadlock, the Marabilis, the Alocasia Red Grey, and the Dubia, maybe, and the Jacqueline, Alocasia Jacqueline. And last but not least, we have the winner of not only the houseplant category, but the best in show overall out of all the plants at the National Plant Show. This is the Kokruma Skyline. Mirror. So you've seen what has done well. Let me know your thoughts. As someone who is clued up on what the consumers might like, being in these houseplant groups, following the trends on houseplants and everything like that, I was kind of disappointed myself with some of the offerings with the Monstera dubia that was submitted. And as a new plant, I don't think so. Maybe a new plant being grown in the UK perhaps, but really it's been on the market in the UK for donkey's years, at least since 2020, and then everyone was snipping them up and selling them on the black market, eBay. And I don't know about the winning plant as well, that the skyscraper, the bromeliad wasn't doing it for me, to be honest. But what do you think? Let me know what your predictions will be for this year's awards at the houseplant section at the National Plant Show, and I will see you in the next one.